Autumn Audra RN, or better known as Awesome Audra RN, coming to you guys with yet another video of the horrors in nursing, okay? I've been an RN for 18 years, starting in med-surg telemetry and doing everything from corrections to long-term supervisor, ADON, whatever. But very quickly, I like to do my videos in real time, so once again, I am on the treadmill trying to shed some pounds. And something happened to me yesterday, which was Friday, August the 22nd. So very simply, I had went on like a 3-month assignment out of town at a nursing home. I decided to stop working for them early August, and so I picked up some shifts from a company in Pennsylvania. I'm an independent contract nurse for them. So basically, they'll just assign me to a site, and I'll go fill the shift. They take away probably 2/3 of the money, and they give me the crumbs, okay? But it pays the bills for right now, so whatever. But nevertheless, so I've been working for this company for about 2 years, and they have a credentialing manager, and we're just gonna call her Vicky, okay? And so this credentialing manager, basically what she does is she sits in her office and she makes sure all the nurses are updated on their licenses, on their CPR, and on their education trainings, and anything else you need, like PPD, your fingerprinting, your criminal background check. That's what she normally does. But they have an on-call person, and this on-call person, of course, takes the call-outs, and they will also call you to fill shifts. So this on-call person is from New York, like myself, and she's very professional and very nice. And normally when I call her, she just is very professional. We never have any issues, okay? So lately, this credentialing manager, Vicky, has been doing the on-call piece. I don't know if the on-call person is on vacation, whether she works there or not. All I know is that I just picked up a shift for them on the 22nd, August the 22nd. I worked 7:30 a.m. till 11:30 p.m. at night. So I worked a double for them, okay? I had worked a couple of 12-hour shifts earlier during the week for them. I worked a double, but I needed to be back to work the next day at 8 o'clock in the morning, okay? And my commute was about 35 minutes. So when I got off the double, I hadn't worked a double in so long. I was very tired, very burnt out. Went right home, took a shower, went to bed. I woke up on time to be to work on time, but I was drained. So I said, let me close my eyes for about 5 more minutes. Closed my eyes, and I had to pray, God, please wake me up, because normally I oversleep when I try to do that, but I was so tired. And so I overslept. So I called the, job, and I got Miss Vicky. And so the conversation went like this. I said, hello, this is Audra. I said, good morning, Vicky. How are you doing? She said, yeah, what is it? I said, well, I'm due to be at Valley Lane this morning, and I'm running a little late. I overslept. Vicky said, well, what time are you going to be there? Because you've been late a lot lately. I said, Vicky, who are you talking to? I'm 53 years old. I'm just, I'm letting y'all know I'm 53 years old. I'm talking to a grown woman. She's probably about 67, 70. And I didn't know who she was talking to like that. Now, me and her in the past have gotten along very well. She's gone to bat for me on cases, but she's never done this on-call piece. And that's not my problem. So I said to her, Miss Vicky, who are you talking to like that? She said, well, I just need to know what time you're going to be there, what time you're going to be to work, because you've been late a lot lately, and the other day when you called in to say you were late, the nurses complained. Now, why the heck would any manager or any employer tell you that one of your coworkers complained that you were going to be late, especially to the site that you're getting ready to go to right now? Wouldn't that pit the workers against each other? That was very unprofessional. And I said, at Valley Lane? I said, those nurses, because we get along, I've been going there over a period of 2 years, we get along with each other, we look out for each other, and we never have any issues. Excuse me, I'm at the gym, y'all. But she said that, and I said, so now I need her to run the receipts. You know what I'm saying? Because you're making me feel some type of way. I'm already burnt out. Everybody feels bad when they call in late, and now you making me feel guilty on top of that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm on here making these videos, and this is not the only thing I'm doing to get off of this ugly nursing thing, okay? Because it ain't what they say it is, okay? Now, I said, well, could you tell me all the times that I've been late? I said, because I just started back working for y'all. I said, I've been working a whole nother full-time job for the last 4 or 5 months. Well, you were late on Monday the 19th, Tuesday the 20th, and now you're calling in late today. You guys, I didn't even work for them on the 20th. I was off, okay? And so I said to her, I said, well, you know what, Miss Vicky? I said, I'm a human being. I said, I worked a double for y'all last night. I said, I overslept. I said, she interrupts me, Audrey, I'm not going to argue with you. I said, we're not arguing. I said, we're having a conversation. But as soon as I started to point out things to her, her tone, her unprofessionalism, now we arguing. Now you want to do the gaslighting. You know what I'm saying? So I said, you know what? I said, you're right. I needed to own it. I've been late 3 times in the last 2 weeks. I said, you know what? I said, I will do better. I said, I will correct my lateness. I apologize. I said, let's just push the restart button. I said, we're good. Let them know I'll be there around 8:35. I get in my car. I get to driving, you guys. And why the heck do I get a phone call from the nurse from Valley Lane? Hi, good morning, Audra. I know you're driving. Are you on your way here? I said, oh my God. Let's call her Katie. I said, Katie, I'm so sorry. I said, I worked a double last night. I said, I overslept. I said, and I tried to go back to sleep for 5 minutes. It's totally my fault. She said, Audra, she said, calm down. She said, you didn't do anything wrong. She said, I'm just calling because I saw your name on the schedule. I said, and nobody called to say whether you were coming, and you're not here, and you're usually here earlier on time. Did y'all hear that? So this Vicky lady, who never does on call, who sits in her office and reminds people that their credentials are behind, who's about 67, 70 years old, even though that doesn't matter, this chick then jumped down my throat unprofessionally about being late, unprofessionally told me that other nurses were talking about me and mad, when I don't know how anybody could get mad at anybody being late, unless you're a chronic late person and the facility's not doing anything about it. And then she had the nerve to not even call Valley Lane and tell the nurse that your relief is running late. That nurse was just sitting there waiting. Okay? That is the ugly side of nursing. That is just a pebble of what goes on behind the scenes. I have a funny feeling Miss Vicky don't like to be on call, and that she got a lot of calls throughout the night, and I was just that one call that woke her up, because she apparently went right back to sleep after she gaslighted me. This is Awesome Audra RN coming to you again. I love you guys. Thank you. Continue to watch. Click the like button, subscribe, and let's do this, y'all. Let's take it to the next level. Have a good day, you guys. Goodbye.